What if the darkest moments of your life, the betrayals, the heartbreaks, the failures, weren't random? What if your soul chose them? Before your first breath, before the flicker of memory, before the world shaped your identity, there was a pact, an agreement made not in ink, but in energy. Not with words, but with purpose. A soul contract. Across lifetimes, across realms unseen, your soul sat with others in a realm beyond time. You made choices. Who would love you? Who would break you? Who would awaken you? Could it be that the toxic partner, the distant parent, or the relentless hardship are not curses, but catalysts? Could it be that your pain is not punishment, but precision? This isn't karma. This isn't fate. This is something far more intentional, far more sacred. In this episode of Esoteric Glyph, we'll journey beyond the veil of ordinary perception to uncover a hidden architecture of existence. We'll explore ancient teachings, forgotten wisdom, and spiritual insights buried beneath centuries of dogma. You'll discover that your life has never been out of control. It's been co-created. And once you awaken to this truth, everything changes. This isn't just philosophy. This is the blueprint of your soul. So, if you've ever felt that some people in your life arrived with too much weight to be coincidence, or that your struggles feel strangely familiar, this is your call to remember. Because the truth is, you didn't come here to suffer. You came here to evolve. Long before modern psychology dared to question the nature of suffering, ancient mystics and philosophers already spoke of pre-life agreements, silent covenants made in the ether. In ancient Egypt, the Book of Coming Forth by Day, what we now call the Egyptian Book of the Dead, speaks of the soul's journey not beginning at birth, but in a realm of divine planning, where the soul prepares its earthly path with the gods of fate and justice. The Ka, the spiritual double, was said to remember this path even as the conscious mind forgets. In the East, Hindu and Buddhist philosophies echo similar themes. The Loka, subtle realms where karmic blueprints are written, describe how souls meet before incarnation, choosing the timing, the location, the family, and even their personal struggles, all to balance cosmic equations and catalyze inner awakening. Even Plato, in his myth of air, recounted souls in the afterlife selecting their next lives from a wide array of destinies, each soul guided not by chance, but by necessity and soul resonance. Responsibility lies with the chooser, he wrote, not the divine. In the esoteric Hermetic tradition, the Kybalion speaks of rhythm, cause and effect, polarity, universal laws that suggest even suffering has symmetry, that every experience is not only attracted, but authored at a higher level of consciousness. And yet, this knowledge was guarded, hidden. In mystery schools of Alexandria, Delphi, and Kemet, initiates were told the truth only after proving readiness, because the truth can liberate or destroy, depending on who hears it. As centuries passed and religions institutionalized, the sacred was replaced with the obedient. Doctrine buried divine sovereignty. The soul's co-creative power was rebranded as fate or punishment. Reincarnation became heresy. Personal suffering became moral failure. And the idea of choosing your own challenges, lost, but not erased. Now, in this age of rediscovery, the ancient whispers return. The Hermetists, the Gnostics, the Vedics, the mystics, they all knew. You are not the victim of life. You are the architect of experience. And in that knowing, your suffering takes on a new shape. Not chaos, but curriculum. Not torment, but teaching. Because the real meaning of soul contracts is that your soul remembered something your mind forgot. The hidden architecture of your soul's blueprint. Imagine a vast hall of light, a liminal realm between death and rebirth. Souls move like stardust, radiant with ancient intelligence. Here, time does not exist. Judgment does not exist. Only understanding. In this place, your soul meets with others. Beings who have danced with you in lifetimes before. Some were lovers, others rivals. Many returned by choice, not obligation. Together, you review your next incarnation. not as a punishment, but as a plan. You choose your challenges. You choose your wounds. You even choose your villains. Why? Because your soul isn't obsessed with comfort. It seeks expansion. Growth requires contrast, and contrast often arrives in the form of pain. Let's be clear. Soul contracts are not binding in a legal sense. They are energetic intentions, spiritual agreements woven into your being, like blueprints coded into your consciousness. And while you still retain free will, these contracts form the skeleton of your most defining life events. Think of it this way: your life is like a stage. The soul designs the set, casts the characters, and scripts a rough outline. But the performance, that's up to you. Every decision you make still matters. But certain scenes, certain turning points, must happen to activate your deeper transformation. That abusive relationship you endured, it shattered you open, but also awakened your self-worth. The illness that derailed your life, it forced you to slow down and reevaluate what truly matters. The betrayal you never saw coming, it may have been the exact rupture needed to liberate your authentic self. These moments weren't accidents. They were contracts. Now, most of us don't remember these soul agreements. The veil of amnesia at birth is part of the design. If you remembered everything, the lesson would lose its power. Forgetting is what makes the learning real. And yet, there are clues, synchronicities, déjà vu, the magnetic pull towards certain people. Ever meet someone and feel like you've known them forever? Or face a repeating pattern that seems to defy logic? Those are echoes, signatures, the soul's handwriting beneath the ink of your story. When you resist these contracts, life feels chaotic. But when you begin to honor them, when you ask, "What is this teaching me?" you shift from victim to visionary. Because in truth, life is not happening to you. It's happening through you, guided by the deeper logic of the soul, the paradoxes of destiny and the hidden mechanics of choice. Here's the paradox. You are both the author and the character, the creator of the maze and the one struggling to find the exit. This is the divine tension of soul contracts. On one level, you chose the pain. On another, you scream against it. And both are valid. The ego wants to escape suffering. The soul wants to transform through it. But here's where things get deeper. Not all soul contracts are born from trauma. Some are forged in deep love, cosmic loyalty, or unresolved karma. Some souls volunteer to play the villain in your story. Not because they hate you, but because they love you enough to help you grow in the exact way you asked. Imagine this. Before birth, a close soul says to you, "In this life, I'll hurt you. I'll break your heart. But through that, you'll discover a strength you never knew you had. Do you still want this?" And your soul, with tears in its light, replies, "Yes." This is not cruelty. It's spiritual courage. Let's go deeper still. Have you ever heard of karmic loops? These are repeating soul patterns, often lifetimes long. A betrayal that echoes through generations. A debt of compassion unpaid. A cycle of abandonment or power abuse that never heals, until this lifetime. Soul contracts are often the mechanism through which these loops are either reinforced or finally broken. That's why the same type of person shows up in different faces. Why you attract the same lesson in new disguises. Until you respond differently, with awareness, not reaction, the contract continues. Not out of punishment, but because your soul wants completion. But here's a secret few talk about. Contracts can be rewritten. Yes, they were made before birth. But they're not carved in stone, they're written in light. Through conscious work, healing, ritual, forgiveness, spiritual initiation, you can renegotiate or even dissolve certain agreements, especially contracts made in fear, desperation, or past life trauma. Another misconception? That soul contracts are all individual. Some are collective. Entire generations, bloodlines, even nations carry soul agreements. A family bound to repeat cycles of addiction. A culture born in exile seeking identity. A collective burden carried by empaths, starseeds, or healers to transmute ancestral pain. You may be living a story that began centuries ago, not because you are cursed, but because you chose to help bring it to light. And there's one more layer. Not all contracts are with people. Some are with archetypes, energies, or even places. You may feel an unexplainable connection to Egypt, the stars, the ocean, or a long-forgotten language. These are echoes of soul-level bonds, agreements to return, to remember, to awaken dormant knowledge. When you begin to see your life this way, nothing is random. Every pain, every meeting, every delay, it all fits into a vast intelligent design. And in that realization, your suffering becomes sacred, your past becomes prophecy, and your life becomes a map back to the soul. How to recognize, work with, and transform soul contracts in daily life. Understanding soul contracts is not just a mystical idea. It's a tool for awakening. When you recognize that your challenges may be soul-chosen, something remarkable happens. Victimhood dissolves, and sovereignty begins. But how do you work with this knowledge consciously? How do you know which experiences are contracts, and what to do about them? Here are powerful techniques to bring this ancient wisdom into your everyday reality. 1. Identify the repeating patterns. Look at your life. What themes keep returning? Maybe it's abandonment. Maybe it's unworthiness. Or perhaps it's a cycle of control, addiction, or chronic illness. These aren't coincidences. They're soul contracts in action. Patterns are the soul's way of whispering, "There's something here you need to face." Journal them. Name them. Trace them back. Ask, where did this begin? Who taught me this? Then go deeper. What is this pattern trying to teach me? What part of me is still waiting to be healed? 2. Practice contract recognition meditation. Sit quietly. Visualize your soul in the realm between lives. See yourself surrounded by luminous beings. Some familiar, some not. Ask them, what did I come here to learn through this experience? Feel the answer. Don't force it. It may come as a symbol, a feeling, or a single word. This technique can help you bypass the conscious mind and tap into your pre-incarnate memory. 3. Initiate conscious contract rewriting. You have the power to renegotiate a soul contract, especially if it no longer aligns with your current state of evolution. Stand before a mirror or sacred altar and speak this aloud. I now release all soul contracts rooted in fear, limitation, or unconscious pain. I honor what they taught me. I am ready to evolve beyond them. I call forth only those agreements aligned with my highest growth and divine path. Seal it with breath, with fire, with water, whatever element feels sacred to you. Ritual activates the subconscious, and the soul listens. 4. Use symbolic tools. Tarot, astrology, numerology. These are not toys. They are contracts in symbolic form. A recurring tarot card may point to an active contract. Your birth chart may reveal your soul's assignments. Your numerological life path may point to your karmic lessons. Consult these tools not as fortune-telling, but as maps of memory, guides to what your soul agreed to experience. 5. Live the contract, don't escape it. Some contracts are not meant to be broken, but completed. A soul contract may not end until it has delivered its full teaching. Instead of resisting, ask, how can I move through this with grace? What does my soul want me to embody? Sometimes healing comes not through escape, but through alchemy. When you stop asking, why me? And start asking, what is this forging within me? The entire energy shifts. 6. Share your journey. Your story is medicine. By speaking your truth, especially about your struggles, you help others remember their own soul work. Soul contracts often interweave. Your awakening can activate someone else's. In sharing, you become a living glyph, a carrier of esoteric wisdom through personal embodiment. In all this, compassion is key. You may not understand why certain things happen to you. You may not yet forgive the people who played their roles. But if you can trust, even a little, that your soul chose this for your evolution, something shifts. And that shift is the beginning of true liberation. Remembering what you chose to forget. You came here with purpose. not just to survive but to evolve. Before the veil of forgetting, before the heartbeat of flesh, you were a radiant soul standing in full awareness. You saw your path, your wounds, your triumphs. And still, with reverence, you said yes. Yes to the parents who would forget how to love you. Yes to the heartbreak that would shatter your illusions. Yes to the body that might ache, the mind that might fracture, the world that might never understand you. You chose these, not to suffer but to wake up, not to break but to become whole. That is the sacred truth of soul contracts. They are not chains. They are blueprints, not punishments, but portals, not control, but commitment to your own divine becoming. Now you know. The betrayals, the losses, the strange synchronicities, they all carry a secret script. The people you meet, the timing of events, the doors that open or slam shut are not accidents. They are activations designed by you for you. So the next time pain visits you, ask not, "Why is this happening?" but, "What part of me is this trying to awaken?" That is how you remember. That is how you reclaim. And when you remember, you rise, not just as a seeker, but as a sovereign. So now we ask you, not as viewers, but as fellow souls, what contract are you living right now? And are you ready to complete it? Or transform it? If this message awakens something in you, you're not alone. You never were. Share this with those who are ready to remember. Comment below what part of your life suddenly makes sense. And subscribe to Esoteric Glyph, where ancient truths are remembered, one revelation at a time. You are not lost. You are fulfilling what you once chose in the dark for the light. Welcome back.